Yo guys, this is Animal. Today I bring you a new video. Sorry if I sound sick. I think I'm coming down with something. But let's get right into it. Yeah, I played the Anthem demo over the weekend. A lot of people sent me messages. A lot of people wanna hear what I feel about it because I've been playing hardcore, I should say, Destiny for the last 4.5 years, pretty much. Since Destiny 1, Day 1 came out. I played other games from time to time, other shooters. That's what I pretty much main is shooters, or third person. I like both of them. But I've pretty much been like Destiny hardcore main all that time. So people, when they see me playing something different, they tend to ask me how I felt about the game and all that kind of stuff. Because, oh, Animal's playing something different, must be really good, you know. I wanted to try the Anthem demo, not because I was planning to buy it. A lot of people can you know, relate to what I just said. Division came out, I never tried a beta, I never tried the demo. I never bought it because I knew that eventually Destiny is always going to be better. Any of those games that come out, Monster Hunter, name it, they all been said, oh, it's going to be the new Destiny killer. Nothing's going to destroy Destiny. If Destiny's going to get destroyed, it's going to destroy itself. But it's nowhere near that right now. Destiny has a popularity and a community behind it where not a lot of games can say they have, and every developer out there wants to have that. They want to have a community behind their game that will help them build a better game and go forward. And Anthem wants that. BioWare wants that. The one problem I see with Anthem is that I don't feel like it's gonna have an amazing end game. Like, sure, I didn't really play as other, how should I say, YouTubers went to special events and this and that. They got to see end game. For me though, I feel like it's gonna be a game where there's gonna be more open world stuff to do. Like Destiny, we go in and we have somewhat an open world on a planet. When we're bored with that planet, we go to another one. You know, so on and so forth. This game, you're in the same landscape all the time, but it's a bigger open world. Like a lot more vast, I should say. But so far, the only thing we got to try is like adventure / strike type endgame thing, which was fun. The boss at the end was awesome, all that kind of stuff. This is what I'm actually playing right now, and I'm playing as Storm too. By the way, Storm was awesome. But I don't think it has the end game that Destiny has. Hear me out. Destiny, when it came out, it wasn't perfect. I'm talking about the original. It wasn't perfect. Didn't have half of what Destiny 1 had at the end. But every strike, every update, they kept getting better. Eventually we got trials. Eventually the raids got even bigger and even better. And many other aspects of the game. And the community got bigger. Got more attention on streaming. And then it became one of the top 10 games streamed weekly. And with Trials being one of the hit factor, which Destiny 2 right now is kind of missing, to be honest. We need Trials again. But with Trials, that game was like top 10 stream during weekends. The community that Bungie had and still have today, like, made Destiny what it is over time. And Destiny 2, when it came out, it wasn't perfect, name it. But within a year, they practically gave us everything we had in D1. Pretty much. Pretty much. Let's hear out, you know. But this is the thing with Anthem. The demo wasn't much. So, is it gonna be eventuality where it's gonna get better? Don't know. The people that are actually gonna invest their time and buy the game and be a community for BioWare to build the game will be the ones to judge eventually. So if you're one of those players that I'm making the switch to Anthem, I want to fully support and commit myself to this game and be a community leader or follower for BioWare Anthem. You know, like you have this chance of doing the same that the community did with Bungie for Destiny. Right now though, I feel like Anthem is just not my cup of tea. My cup of tea. It's amazing. The flying mechanic is fun. The storm, / warlock type of this game, yeah, it embraces abilities. Like, you know, sometimes in Destiny, they can't go out and crazy with the abilities because they have PvP. PvP is one of the main factors. Destiny can't go out all crazy with their abilities and their guns. The guns that we got to try in Anthem's demo, I hope are not the final big guns of the game, because Destiny has insane weapons. Insane weapons. Yes, it's a little bit toned down because of PvP, but it has insane weapons compared to what Anthem had to offer in the demo. My bad. But it's all to see, you know, like what they will do, and you know, like it's all in pretty much BioWare's hands at this point, and the community they're gonna have to shape that game to become a top dog like Bungie did with Destiny. But for me, I don't think I'm gonna be buying it. What I will do though is keep an eye on it, because I'm a Destiny main since Destiny Day 1 came out. Now Bungie just separated with Activision, which kind of leaves us to question if we're gonna have an expansion in September, if we're gonna get anything until Destiny 3 after our yearly schedule. And I'm okay with them taking a little bit more relaxed and saying to themselves, alright, now we're not pressured on release dates. But one thing can be sure is that we can't be waiting from fall 2019 to maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years without anything. You know, we can't. Us as gamers, I am gonna stay back and play Destiny 2 for a while, because there's so much things to do, triumphs and name it. I will stay back and play until I get everything like I did with D1. But I'm not gonna stay 2 years with no DLC, not doing anything. So this is where Anthem has the chance to shine. If Bungie doesn't release anything in September or beginning next year, it has the time to release their game and look at what Destiny 2 is going to do for the remainder of their schedule, and then say, alright, let's do this, you know? In the meantime that Bungie doesn't release anything, they can make their game super good. Look at what Division did. When Division came out, it wasn't special. But a small group decided to stay back and give them feedback and play their game. And eventuality, people started coming back to the game and say, wow, they did some good stuff. And when Division 2 comes out, if if they don't do the error that Destiny did pretty much with Destiny 2 and pretty much reshape the entire game with personal reasons, you know, if they decided to just continue of what their community did as feedback and this and that, Division 2 can be a top dog, you know? It can be a top dog. I don't remember the date it's coming out, but it can be a top dog. And Anthem can be that also. If they decide to release an expansion in December, let's say, that has PvP, that has a bunch of new story, a bunch of new different things, raids, we don't even know really yet, you know, Prison of Elder type things, you know, hordes, all that stuff, you know, they might have a big chance, because one of the big things with Destiny is it's sci-fi and its lore behind it. You know, like it's high-tech weapons and space type things and all that kind of stuff, you know, super abilities. Not a lot of game has that. Anthem sorta has that. Supers are not what Destiny, like, as much as people are going to be like, oh, supers are effective. Yes, they're effective, but you literally don't do anything. You stand there, you press the 2 buttons, and it starts doing the attack. You just have to, like, pretty much unleash the attack by just tapping the trigger. No hate towards Anthem, BioWare. With that, it's just, that's how their ultimate work, you know, their supers. In Destiny, your supers, you have to make them shine. You have to blink, you have to do this and that, you know, you have to shield between attacks. Supers in Destiny are a lot more better than many other games. But what I'm getting at is that Anthem is the closest thing when it comes to a sci-fi shooter with supers and characters and subclasses and this and that. So if Destiny 2 doesn't come out with an expansion, a massive expansion in September, and Anthem decides, hey guys, look at what we've been working on for a year with the feedback of the community and this and that, then Anthem can become maybe a top dog, you know, to steal some of the Destiny community away. Both can coexist. All of these games we just mentioned can coexist. People been hating on Anthem because of EA and this and that, money practices, and yes, there's gonna be microtransactions. I have no doubt there's gonna be. No doubt. Are they gonna be greedy? Probably, because it's EA. And if you guys know me, you can even look at the description. I'll put a link over there for Battlefield Hardline. After Battlefield Hardline, I literally gave up on EA. I said, screw this, I'm done. I am sick and tired of getting my money stolen. Like, server issues, games that comes out, not completed, a lot of problems, and money this, money that. And as much as people hate on Activision for money, they're all in the same boat pretty much. They're all companies trying to make money. And I understand that. That's the problem. Like, I really do. It's the people that control their wallets, to be honest, at this point. And some people will use the, you know, like, oh, well, if you have no choice card, you know, because you want to compete with people. In Destiny 2, really, there's nothing in the supply drop system they have that really makes you a better player than another, you know. Not really. And it was with Activision for the first year of Destiny and a couple months from year 2, you know. Well, Destiny 2. And Destiny 1. But EA, I mean, I'm not too fond of them. I did have my problems with them. And this video, I hope that, you know, people will say, well, he's an EA non-fan, so, like, I can't take what he's saying to, you know, 100%. But I'm keeping it real with you guys. I'm keeping it real. I'm saying it. The game, I had fun with the Anthem demo. I had fun with it. I'm not gonna lie, I had fun with it. But it's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea because of the reasons where that I just illustrated pretty much. Until they have a PvP, until they have raids type thing, like a lot more depth in endgame pretty much that I didn't get to see in the demo. For me, it's not gonna be a game that I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna stick it out with Destiny. But what I'm saying though, and I just mentioned, I'm gonna keep an eye on it because it's that type of game that might become like a top contender if Bungie doesn't keep up with Destiny. Because one of the main reasons they, like, my personal opinion, I might be wrong, completely wrong about this, but one of the main reasons they probably didn't get along with Activision at the end is because the way Activision was probably saying, hey, you gotta release this by this date, you gotta have another game that's coming out by this date, you have to... Activision are a company that the wheel doesn't stop turning. You know, you gotta produce. You gotta produce. Look at what Call of Duty has been doing the last 10 years. They got 3 companies making games. The wheel never stops turning. The squirrel is non-stop, pretty much. He's plugged in on steroids and just keep on running. And I think with Bungie, they were like, nah, like, you want us to make massive multiplayer online experience, MMOs, shooter with, you know, a limited time frame. It's impossible. It's impossible. An MMO needs a lot of years to create, a lot of time, a lot of, like, trust me, like, I'm not a developer. All right, I'm nowhere near a developer, but it takes time. It takes time. Look at how Destiny was at the end of Destiny 1. It took them, what, 6 years? And half of the content that we were supposed to have in Destiny 1, like, was pushed into D2 also. I remember seeing old, like, schedulings and this and that when Destiny 1 first came out. And a lot of the DLCs that we got with D2 was supposed to be, like, pretty much in D1. Including the whole Cabal, Red Legion type thing, you know. Because Destiny 1 was supposed to be like a 10-year project at the end. I don't think it was supposed to have a Destiny 2, a Destiny 3, but at one point they decided to reboot the game. And I think they just decided to go with a new game type thing. If you ask my opinion, I think Destiny 3 is going to have pretty much, like, not a full reboot, but I think they're going to launch with pretty much what Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 had and the entire new Destiny 3 game. And personally, I would be okay with that. I would love it. I personally think that that's what they should be doing. Is Destiny 1, Destiny 2, Destiny 3 into one game and make it that there's expansions coming out for the next 6 or 7 years, which so, and full on, you know, dedication and make it Destiny, call it Destiny Become Legend. At this point, I'd be okay with it, you know. Being able to do what we were able to do in Destiny 1, and it would be fun. And in Destiny 2, the good stuff, and we would just continue off from there into D3. But I went off a little bit from the topic there, pretty much. But, yes, if you ask my opinion, gameplay is very fun in Anthem. They embrace abilities. They embrace abilities where Bungie with Destiny, they can't particularly go off on because they have PvP to worry about, and this game doesn't. So the abilities you see with Storm in this gameplay, where like I just unleash non-stop attacks and this and that, you know, like Bungie can't really do that in certain aspects because they got PvP to worry about. So that's one thing Anthem has for it going, you know. It's gameplay, it's embrace power. Like even the guns felt weak in my opinion. They need to be a lot more stronger. A lot more stronger. Like, since you don't have a PvP yet, or whichever, make everything OP obliteration. Add more enemies if you have to, you know, like just add more enemies, make everything strong. If you're just a story mode type game, you know. But yes, like it's gonna be a game where I'm gonna keep an eye on, because you never know what's gonna happen with Destiny 2 this fall. We know that we have content until September. So for me, I'm not gonna be buying right now, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, and if ever Bungie doesn't release anything else by, you know, next December or beginning 2020, Anthem might be a game where I might be looking into, you know, or even this summer, depending what DLCs and what the amount of content they have. We're probably gonna see what Bungie has in store for Bungie Destiny fans by May, I think. Usually by May we have an idea of what they're going to be releasing as fall content, pretty much. So by May, if I see that they don't really release anything, there's no other game really like Destiny at this point, and I think Anthem is one of the closest games to it. So, you know, I'd be interested in keeping an eye on it, you know. So if you're the type of player like me, like I just pretty much described this entire video, pretty much maybe do that if you want. Keep an eye on it. Don't annihilate it, you know. Don't put an X on it just yet, but keep an eye. And if ever you want to be a founder of this franchise, you know, and give all you have and make the switch right now, hey, the opportunity's there, you know. You can be a community leader for this game and try to make it as big as Destiny became, pretty much. The story of this game, I haven't gotten the chance to really understand the story, to be honest. I know it's just a beta, so, you know, there's going to be a lot more story, a lot more things when the game comes out. But it didn't captivate me like Destiny did. Destiny's gods and this and that, and my damn stupid alarm. Like the light versus the darkness, the universe, the galaxies, the planets, the subclasses that comes with each class, the guns, name it, everything lore about Destiny, and everything about Destiny just captivated me to like a different angle, like in video games. I used to be like Killzone to the bone, an underground player where I have a small friends list of like 100, and I would just play Killzone, but then I would switch to Battlefield, then I would switch to Crisis, then I would switch to Titanfall, then I would go to Halo. Sometimes I was doing 3 shooters at the same time. I was pretty much playing 3 different shooters at the same time. I would beat their campaign on each shooter, and then I would just main like Killzone, but I would play different. Let's say on Saturday night I'd be playing Battlefield with Jig and some homies, and then on Sunday night I'd be playing something else. But when Destiny came out, it hit pretty much all check marks for me. And it introduced me to a different world where social isn't that bad. I used to be the type of player that I didn't really add everybody. Like, I would add, like, you know, my closest friends and this and that, and some online players I enjoy playing with these type of games, you know. But then Destiny just introduced me to raids, trials, having people always online, some good friends to help you out into your adventures and this and that. And then you become even more friends with them. And like it introduced me to a different world of video games. Like not only shooter, MMO, and name it, to an infinite extent. I just became a Destiny fan as soon as Destiny 1 came out. And for some other people, it's going to be the same with Anthem. And both can coexist. All these different games that look like Destiny, or they look like Anthem, they look like Division, they look like Monster Hunter, name it, Elder Scrolls Online, they can all coexist there's nothing wrong about loving several games. My personal decision, though, is that I'm a Destiny fan to the bone, and I'm gonna stick it out with Destiny. And even through dark days like we had in pretty much in the entire year 1 of Destiny 2, I still stuck it out with them because I knew that eventuality Bungie would fix it and make it better. That was my personal opinion. And it's going to be the same for Anthem players at the start. Even if there's some horrible moments, they're going to be like, yeah, no, but like, I love this. This is my home, you know. And this is what I'm saying. You can have a home-based game. You can have a home-based game that you're always going to go back to. It's like a chef's recipe, where it's like the one recipe you're never going to change and you're always going to go back to. But there's nothing wrong in trying different recipes. And that's what I'm getting into. The game is good. For me, my personal opinion, it's not going to be a buy right off the bat. I'm going to be waiting out to see if Destiny becomes dry at one point because it needs to take some time to work on their next game, which I understand whichever decision Bungie does. But eventuality, if there's no content on Destiny, I'm going to be looking to do something, you know. Anthem kind of like gave me that, like, alright, I'll be there if ever there's something, you know. Like, it's a good game. It's not near Destiny's level, so if Destiny keeps on delivering content like they've been doing, and Destiny 3's around the corner, I'm gonna stay on Destiny. Destiny's my favorite game. It's my main recipe. It's what I love to play. And the reason why I'm saying this is if you watch the entire video and you understand what I'm saying is both can coexist. We don't have to hate on it to a point where it's a horrible game. You know, because of like, oh, well, like I just love Destiny, period. This game needs to be destroyed, pretty much by what I need to say. It's not near, for me personally, it's not near what Destiny is. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. So if you want to experience it and all that kind of stuff, you had a full weekend of the free demo to try it and all that kind of stuff. But for me, my opinion is it needs more. It needs more in-game. It needs more stuff into the game. Classes. We need to see different classes. Like instead of like what they did with like, okay, you can do ice attacks and arcs and solar all at the same time. They should have separated that into 3 classes and have trees. And they could have had something very good on that point. But they embrace abilities though like no other games have I ever seen. Like you can just rain down abilities on the enemies and all that kind of stuff. In which they should rightfully do because they don't have a PvP experience. Everything should feel OP in this game. Your guns, your classes, everything should feel monstrous because you don't have a PvP experience yet. That's another thing too I'm coming into is that I'm a shooter type of person. That means I love playing multiplayers. I love having that competitive aspect to a game where I can just play multiplayers an entire weekend if I want to. This boss is kind of cool, by the way. But yes, this game doesn't have a multiplayer aspect yet that we know of. And I think, man, if they would have had a multiplayer, this would have been very awesome. A third-person base, you know, like Destiny type, you know, shooter, but like third-person view and this and that. It might have been very cool with 4 different classes instead of just 3. You know, it could have been something, but you never know. You never know. They might eventuality with the help of their community and all that kind of stuff. You never know, but. That's pretty much my opinion, guys. Is if you watch the entire video by now, you understand a little bit more my view. The open world aspect is awesome. I think there's not enough like depths on guns. It needs more depths on guns. It needs more perks. It needs more like Destiny, Luck in the Chamber, Rampage perks type things, you know. I need to see more of that. End game, I need to see more. Eventuality, I'd like to see a multiplayer in this game. Like, bosses like this are awesome. We need more, you know. Like, the fact that you have one boss in the strike almost tried to eat me there. But the fact that you only have one boss in the strike, I was like, yeah, like, needs more. I think that's my last opinion. It needs more, and I think that the community that's gonna decide to stay with Anthem and work on Anthem, like a community that did pretty much with Bungie to make Destiny 1 what it was, you know, it's gonna be up to them. I think the game can strive, but for me, it's not gonna be a game that I'm gonna be buying right off the bat. I'm gonna be sticking it out with Destiny, not because I have to, because I love Destiny. And some other players are gonna be the same way with Anthem. They're gonna stick it out with Anthem because they love Anthem, not because what they have to offer. So I know it was a rambling video, and I went from topics to topics and this and that, and how should I say, like, some topics maybe I didn't even get the chance to really finish, but at the end of the day, I think you get the gist of what I've been saying. But it can become a great game with time. But I'm still gonna be a Destiny player. So this is pretty much my review of, and my views and my opinions about the Anthem beta that I just played, the demo, open demo. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys, it gives you kind of like an insight on what my experience was, you know. But I'm going to be going to play some Destiny now, while other players are going to be playing Anthem. Remember, they can both coexist. And that's pretty much it, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.